confirmed, and owner Woody Johnson has his fingerprints all over it. He fired his head coach and GM midseason, and we know that he broached the idea to bench Aaron Rodgers after the 10-9 loss to the ESPN. The Jets were 2-2 at the time. Johnson's ineptitude reminds some of Jerry Jones, whose constant interference is often blamed for the Cowboys' struggles. This season, Dallas is going nowhere fast after Jerry claimed he was, quote, all in this offseason. All right, Mina, we're looking up top, ownership. Does Woody Johnson or Jerry Jones look worse at this present time?
It's Jerry Jones for me. Obviously, the reports about Woody Johnson don't look great. The meddling, the suggestion of benching Aaron Rodgers. But the difference here is Jerry Jones is the GM. Woody Johnson is not. They didn't actually bench Aaron Rodgers. And the decisions that the Jets made this offseason, the trades, the signings, those don't fall at the feet of Woody Johnson. In fact, some of the hires you could put on the quarterback himself, including offensive coordinator. Whereas with Dallas, your owner, Jerry Jones, is also the GM. And this is, I think we have seen, a very poorly constructed roster. They went into this season desperately unprepared to address some of the issues of last season. All in, we all agree, was a total myth. And it's been an issue now for a while. So I think it's that job responsibility that Jerry Jones actually has that makes me look at him and say he bears more responsibility for what we're seeing from the Dallas Cowboys. Whereas with the Jets, these issues are split amongst multiple parties, including some that are no longer in the building.
Yeah, I think it's Woody Johnson and the Jets because while I think the Cowboys are just bad at football this year, the Jets have become a laughingstock. The Jets and the way that they've operated have become a joke. The reports are comical when it comes to professional football. And if we just think about what this team has become over the past couple years, this was a roster that got really good and has defensive rookie of the year and offensive rookie of the year on it. They've got so much young talent that they've acquired over the past couple seasons. And we all said, quarterback away. And then they go get this quarterback, and all of a sudden they can't play. All of a sudden the young talent that we've seen that we thought quarterback away, they can't play anymore. Sauce Gardner and Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson and Johnson's hurt, but William McDonald. I mean, this is a group that you sit there and go, man, this young talent, how did it fall apart? And then you fire the coach, and then there's reports of wanting to bench the quarterback that you flew all over to the country to go acquire, and then we fire the general manager, and these reports of what is going on? And in many ways, it's how can this football team with this much talent still not win games? Still not find ways to win games. The Cowboys, they were from 2020 to 2022, this roster was fantastic. From 2020 to 2022, this roster was fantastic. They just didn't get it done versus an elite team in San Francisco. I'm not absolving Jerry for some of the stuff that has transpired over this past year, but I just think they're a bad football team talent-wise from top to bottom. That talent fell off. I still look at the Jets roster and I go, talent-wise, this is a team that should be in the mix, and somehow, because of, I guess, the day-to-day culture, isn't.
I'm going to disagree with you, and I'm going to side with Mina on this, but stay with me. When you look at Woody Johnson, here's what we have to decipher. Christopher Johnson, his brother, was making the calls while he was serving as ambassador to the United Kingdom. One would surmise it as entirely plausible that he came back into the mix and he's like, what the hell is this? Okay. This is our chance, okay? Also thinking along the lines that Donald Trump might win the election again and I might be back doing what I was doing before. So I got to make this happen while I can make this happen. We got to do something, okay? I'm not saying it was the right decision. What I'm saying is that he came into the mix and just said, okay, you got Aaron Rodgers here. All right, I'm going to go out and get Devontae Adams. I'm going to get Reddick signed, at least for the rest of the season, okay? We still got Breece Hall. We still got Garrett Wilson, all right? And we got a defense that should be a lot better. It was the wrong decision. It was bad. But he walked into a situation and wanting to change something he believes his brother may have done wrong, the faith that he showed in Salah, the faith that he showed in GM Douglas, and he may not have vibed with those decisions, but let it happen. And then once he came back into the mix, okay, he decided to do something and it just didn't work out. That's not the case with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones you delay signing Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb when if you had signed them earlier, you'd have saved $20 million. Okay, you would have been able to, you'd have $20+ million to play with, all right? You decide not to go after Derrick Henry when he's literally on the free agent market, where it'll cost you anywhere from $6 to $8 million, where he's living there in the offseason and working out there in the offseason, and you didn't even give him a call. And you look at how bereft of talent that they are, and you look at some of the decisions that he made that didn't help that cause. It debilitated it. And then on top of it all, we see you with these comments where I'm looking at him and I'm like, something's not right. He's not all there. We're literally putting, and I'm not joking, because I am fond of Jerry Jones because I know a lot of players he's done a lot of good things for. Sure. All right, and everybody knows I got love for Jerry Jones. What I'm saying to you is that I asked Molly and them yesterday, the day before, I said, put the quote up on the screen.
But Stephen,
what is he talking about? It's like literally making no sense. You find yourself asking, oh, my God, he's not making sense.
But don't you think he always, you keep bringing this up, don't you feel like that's consistent?
No, that's not consistent.
No, I think he's always been like, we're going to get it fixed.
Yeah.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Mina's co-signing with you.
No, she's not. She's co-signing with me because she's understanding what I'm saying. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah.
I'm saying that he's literally saying stuff that one would surmise is incoherent. It's not making sense.
I get that, yeah.
I'm like,
I just
what's
feel like
wrong?
it's always been that.
I had somebody, just real quick, Mina, I had somebody call me yesterday, and they were like, it hurt to hear you say what you said because we got some concerns down here in Dallas as well. It doesn't feel right. Something's not right.
Yeah.
Something's not right.
But it's especially concerning because he's also the GM, right, Stephen A? The way he talks about this roster, the quotes that we've gotten out, that's the key difference here. Dan, I think the question you answered is which season's been a bigger disappointment. That's how I heard it. And the Jets have been the bigger disappointment. But the question we were asked is why? And I think when you look at the Jets, no doubt, Johnson, these reports are concerning. But when I look at this offense, I see bad choice of offensive coordinator. Offensive line hasn't been fixed. The quarterback isn't playing well. I don't put that on Woody Johnson. I can't believe I'm in the position of defending him. Whereas when I look at the Cowboys product on the field, you can directly draw a line between decisions that Jerry Jones, as the GM, has made. That's why I feel like he bears more responsibility for what we're seeing this season.
Fair point.
Interesting. All right, guys.